friends, and welcome to the Shero Coffee Chat, where coffee meets conversation. I'm your host, Army retired combat veteran Melissa Farmer Hill, and the founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. I want to thank you for joining us today. And as always, we'll take a spin around the Shero resource table. We've got your chat, your tip, and your guest of the week all coming up right after this. All right. And now for your Shero resource table, because we know here at Shero Coffee Chat that life is a journey and it's definitely not always easy. That's why we got to keep our head on a swivel. That's right. We have to keep our heads on a swivel when it comes to taking care of veterans, our veterans, and their families. We've got over 16 million veterans out there, and not one of us has all the answers. But I believe that together we can find solutions. And that's what the Shero Resource Table segment is all about. It's sharing information, resources, and programs for our veteran community, because I truly believe that when one of us wins, we all win. Yes. And today I want to talk about something real. As you know, September is definitely Suicide Awareness Month. Are you aware of that? September is Suicide Awareness Month, and I know that you've probably heard about the number 22. The 22 a day, it represents how many veterans are believed to have died by suicide, or the number of veterans that die by suicide every single day. And of course, the reports, the reports on the exact number, they vary. Sometimes it's 18, but it seems as though 22 is the number that we stick with. But even one is too many. Would you agree with me that even one is too many? Because every single person that dies of suicide is somebody's relative, they're a sibling, they're a friend, they're someone's child. So when you think of that number 22, it's more. It's way more than just a number. There was once a life behind that number, and life is so precious, and it can be very, very fragile for so many. So here's what I want you to know: that there is help out there, and it's closer than what you think. If you or someone you know ever feels like you can't carry it anymore, and I always, when I talk about suicide, I usually use the story that suicide is for those who couldn't tie that knot at the end of the rope to just hang on for another 24 hours to get the help that they need. But right now, right at this very moment, or if you know someone, there is help. You can dial 988 and press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Hotline, or you can text 838-255, and you can get immediate help. You can also chat. You can also chat if you really need the help. You can chat at the Veterans Crisis Hotline.net. And you don't have to explain your thanks for that slide, Andre. And you don't have to explain, you don't have to explain your story. You don't have to, you know tell tell every little bit of your story, but you will get someone 24/7 that's on the other end of that line, someone who understands. All right. And I also want you to remember too that in a time of crisis, you don't have to wait for the VA. In a time of crisis, go to the nearest hospital. You can go to the nearest hospital, even if it's not a VA facility. The VA also offers support that you need, residential treatment programs. They have peer mentors. They have vet centers in the communities. They have therapy services, that really can make a difference. But you have to take the first step. You have to take the first step. And if it's someone that you know that you see that might be moving along or giving out ideations of suicide or anything like that, you can help them take the first step. Now, here's the part we all play. Numbers like 22 won't change unless we show up for each other. So this month, this week, today, pick up the phone, send a text, invite someone out for coffee or invite someone in for coffee, right? Invite someone to your home for coffee. A simple "how are you really doing" can make a difference this month, all year, today, after this show, in someone's life, or right now can make a difference in someone's life. That small step can break the barrier of silence or withdrawal. You know how sometimes you're walking down the street and you might be feeling a certain way, or someone else might be feeling a certain way, and then you just smile or you just say hello. That could make someone's day. So I'm saying this for the people that you know. Call them, text, reach out, do something. And if you're at home, remember, keep those firearms in a safe place. Have a safe place for storage, which could potentially buy you some time in a situation of crisis, because there are live situations that are happening that we are unaware of, but we know that they're happening, but we're just not, in that mindset to pay attention. So right now I'm asking you to pay attention, because these types of things are happening right now. And at the end of the day, we can't do everything, right? But we can do something. And one of the things I want you to do is share those numbers. Andre, can you put the slide back up, please? Because this is serious. Dial 988, then press 1, text 838-255, and then you can chat at veterancrisishotline.net. Thanks, Andre. You guys, it's a serious subject. 22 a day is too much. So all I'm asking you to do is just do what you can, and don't walk around like this, and don't walk around just looking at your phone. Look around, look at your surroundings, look at the people that you are engaged with, and actually engage with them. Find out what's going on, because you could save a life. All right. All right, so we're going to move into our chat of the week. So I'm going to ask you, before we move into chat of the week, new merch alert. We've got the new Shero coffee cups. Yes, I'm dropping them today online. $15 plus shipping. I might even give free shipping. But if you are a woman who is Shero, self-aware, honest, enterprising, resilient, and owns her life, you need to get one of these cups and get some Shero coffee to put in it, all right? So I just wanted to tell you guys that, because I think these cups are so amazing. And guess what? If you're left-handed, wait a minute. Boom! There you go. If you're left-handed, we've got a side for you too. So yes, I am going to drop those Shero coffee mugs today, and I want you to make sure that you get you one. Now we're going to move right into the chat of the week, and I want to ask you a question. It seems like there's this theme I'm getting into, but when I find interesting things, I like to share them with you. And that is, how far do you plan out for the future? Do you think in just days or weeks, or maybe paycheck to paycheck? Or do you ever give yourself space to really dream, further ahead. They say millionaires dream in decades, and billionaires. I don't even want to reach the billionaire. Well, I don't mean I don't want to reach the billionaire status, but billionaires think like legacies, legacies, legacies. But how far do you think ahead? And so I want you to think about it. Let's start not pressuring ourselves, but let's start challenging ourselves to start planting seeds for what's ahead, the next 6 months, the next year, or even further out, the next 5 years. You don't have to have the whole map. You just need to have a destination. And I think one of the greatest challenges is a lot of people don't even know what they want. Do you know what you want? Do you know how you would like to see your life in 5 years? It's something to think about. And so what I want you to do is start thinking, dreaming big. When I want to dream big, and when I start, creating the vision for myself, well, Andre and I do it together, and then we both do it separately. I don't know if you've heard of the Dixie Chick, but that song Wide Open Spaces, you gotta listen to it. I don't know, it just fills my heart. It makes me want to think big, dream big, do big things, make big mistakes, make big successes, all of that. So that is our chat of the week. How far are you thinking out? And I want to challenge you to move ahead. All right. So it is now 9:15, and we usually go into our tip of the week. And I had a wonderful eye-opening financial coaching assignment for you to do, but I'm going to save that till next week because we got off to kind of like a rocky start. But I want to bring in our next guest because it's so important that he shares the information that he has with you. So, Jake Droge is a nationally recognized expert in reverse mortgages and financial strategies for retirees who want to stay in their homes. We want to stay in our homes. We love our communities. We love being a part of something. As humans, we love group gatherings and socializing and things like that. And when you've been somewhere for 10 or 15 years, sometimes you want to stay there. But since entering in the field in 2007, Jake has helped countless seniors navigate cash flow challenges, avoid foreclosures, and preserve their financial independence through thoughtful mortgage solutions. You mean I could stay in my house and have financial peace of mind? Jake. As South Dakota's first certified reverse mortgage professional, CRMP, he partners with financial advisors, loan officers, attorneys, and realtors nationwide to educate and serve clients with integrity and care. That's very important, especially in 2025, right? A proud Army veteran, and longtime member of the American Legion, Jake is deeply committed to supporting fellow veterans and their families. He's also known as the Flagman. Listen, you guys, on a mission to run a half marathon in all 50 states. And when I asked him about his schedule, that half marathon schedule is busy, busy, busy. And he's going to do that, you guys, while carrying and upholding that American flag. That is so awesome. Jake currently serves clients across the U.S. through University Bank and is always ready to offer guidance. Now, you've seen him here before in May, but we're going to continue to have Jake on for every quarter or every couple of months because the situation keeps changing. There's always more to talk about with Jake Droge. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming once again to the show, Jake the Flagman Droge. Jake, it's so nice to have you here again. Thank you for just saying yes and coming on the show. I definitely wanted to have you here again because we got off into little conversations that I wanted to expand on more. And so now that I know that you're going to be a regular here on Shero Coffee Chat, I want to just talk about reverse mortgages as much as we can. Like I said initially, when you ask people about reverse mortgages, it's like, but now that we know that it's a safe space and we've got people of integrity like yourself inside that space, I have a few different questions to ask this time. All right.
Sounds great. Appreciate it. I
All
love
right.
those cups, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna drop them today. I think they're pretty awesome. All right. So my first question, Jake, is recently, how have you helped veterans in the reverse mortgage space? Do you have any situations that you can share with us?
Yeah, so on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, I'm talking to veterans or a surviving spouse that, is looking at staying in their homes. And just recently, I had a lady that I helped. She actually got her check this last week. She was behind on her mortgage payments. Her husband had passed, and honestly, with some medical and just losing her spouse, depression, she had got in a rough spot and was able to help her out. And she stayed in her home, and we were able to pay off her existing mortgage that she was behind on. So to her, it was just a blessing that she's going to be able to stay in her home and not have the cash flow concerns that she currently had. So one of those, for me, makes me feel good knowing that I'm actually making a difference in somebody's life.
Yeah, because I mean, we sit up here and we converse about it, and that's a good thing because we provide people with information. But it's real live situations. People are in a bind. People don't know what they can do, and I'm just glad you're definitely there to help navigate them through that, because I mean, it's a serious thing. I've got another question. So one of the biggest concerns is when we talk about reverse mortgage, maybe you can just kind of shed a little light on what a reverse mortgage is, just refresh our minds on our brains on what it is. And then the next question is, what if I outlive that reverse mortgage?
Okay, great question. So yeah, a refresher. A reverse, most people know it as the FHA program. You have to be 62 or over to qualify. And the amount that FHA will lend, or the lenders like myself will lend using the FHA product, is based on the home value. So it's going to be an appraisal, the age of the youngest borrower, so they're using life expectancy and interest rates. And that determines how much the FHA product will lend. And then in addition to that, there's proprietary products right now, which are non-FHA, and there's benefits to both. There's downfalls to both, but there's benefits to both, and you have to see which one works best for you.
Mm-hmm.
So to clarify the question, if you outlive a reverse mortgage. So that's a valid question, is people, they don't want to leave debt to their children or to their estate. So let's say the house is worth $600,000, they get $200,000 in a reverse mortgage and they live there for 25 years. And unfortunately, something happens to the home values in the area. Instead of being, you know, 600,000, now that's home's only worth 300,000. The loan balance is 400,000. So I think I'm kind of going to where you're saying we're out living
Mm-hmm.
here. So now
Yeah.
the loan balance is more than what the home is valued at. That's an example of where you outlive the reverse mortgage or something, something happened in the economy. In that case, in the FHA program, there's mortgage insurance premiums that you pay to get the loan. That's going to cover that shortfall. So if you're upside down by 100,000, that's going to be covered by the FHA loan program, and you and your family don't owe that
Mm.
shortfall. So the peace of mind that you're not going to leave your children with debt is very important. But on the flip side, let's say that home is worth 600,000 today. You live there for 10 years. That home's now worth 800,000, and your loan balance, when you decide you want to move or sell or go the next level of care, is 400,000, and the home's worth 800. You sell it for 800, you pay off the 400, just like a regular loan, you get
Mhm.
that difference. And a lot of people think in the reverse that goes to the lender. That's not the case. That's your money, that's your equity.
Wow. So I know there are a couple of options out there. What are some of the options that are out there?
In regards to the way people take the funds, it's a lump sum. A lot of people were paying off an existing mortgage, so that's going to be a lump sum distribution. Others will use it as a line of credit. They'll take it when they need it. What's nice about that is if the money's in the line of credit, it's not accruing interest on the loan balance because you haven't taken it, and it's actually grown in availability. So that's a nice option for those that, they're not in dire straits or good financially, but they just want to have an extra cash flow if they're going to go on a trip or whatever. They'll
Mm-hmm.
take the proceeds from their reverse mortgage versus taking it out of their an IRA or some other taxable asset, and they'll use that.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what I see. And then some people, this is what I get common questions. Well, I thought a reverse mortgage paid me every month. And
Mm.
honestly, I've been doing this since 2007. I've seen fewer than 20, 30 people take a monthly payment every single month. Once they realize that they can have it in the line of credit and take it when they need it, they prefer that option over the monthly.
Oh, okay. So my next question is, what happens if one spouse passes away?
Great
Does this,
question. And it's
does that surviving spouse, like
yes.
get the right to stay in the home? Does he or she have to pay the money back? What happens?
No. So as long as they're both on the loan, which I highly recommend, or if one is not 62 yet, but the other one is, and you're married, you're protected. So you're a qualified non-borrowing spouse. So which means as long as it's your primary residence, even if your spouse passes away, you get to stay there for as long as you can. You just have to keep paying the property taxes, insurance, maintenance, just like you would if your spouse was there or on a regular mortgage. So it's very there's a lot of protections that have been built in over time here lately,
Hmm.
and I think it's a good thing.
Okay, good. So another question is, what are some of the biggest financial challenges that seniors face that you've seen coming out of retirement, and how can the reverse mortgage help?
I think one of the biggest challenges I'm seeing is positive cash flow on a monthly basis. So we go through, let's just say we're a veteran and we get out of the military and we have, we go to work, we're getting our pensions for those of us that I did not retire from the military, so I can't speak for this myself, but we're getting our pension, and then we go get a civilian job and we go work that. And now we're 65, 70 years of age. We've probably moved several times and we still have a mortgage payment. And
Hmm.
this can go for a veteran homeowner or not. But now our bodies are telling us we can't work anymore or we don't want to work anymore, but we're tied to this mortgage
Wow.
that we might have 10, 15 years on, is what I commonly see. So if we can pay that off and free up $1,000 principal and interest a month, or 2,000, whatever that number is,
Hmm.
now you're getting your pension, you start getting your social security, you're not sticking that towards a mortgage payment. You can live a little more comfortably.
Yeah.
So I grew up, Melissa, that I had here's my role model. I worked for him and he was an antique dealer. And he always taught me that cash is king. If you have cash, you can do a lot of things. And I 100% believe that. And that's how I looked at the reverse mortgage. Cash is king, man. If you have money in your pocket, you're good.
Hmm.
Now, and like this summer, a light bulb came on for me. Positive cash flow in retirement is king, because if you're 30, 40 years old, you can go out and make more cash by working. Potentially, you can go get a second job if you need to for a little bit. But a lot of our seniors are unable to physically, so they can't go out and get that job. So, but if every month when they start their month, they have positive cash flow, they can hopefully stay more whole financially through the
Hmm.
month, versus if they're negative by $500 every month and they're taking out of their cash, out of their savings, at some point they're going to run out.
Yeah.
But if after you pay all your bills, you're 500 positive negative at the end of the month and it resets,
Yeah.
you're in a lot better position than if you're dipping into your cash reserves every single month. And unfortunately, that's what I see a lot of.
Wow, I love that. Positive cash flow in retirement is king, and that is such a true statement, and you just explained to us why that statement is so true, because we might get tired, or you might not you just don't have the energy in your 60s and 70s as you did in your 20s and 30s and 40s. And so, yeah, I love that. Thank you for that. Now, we know you're operating out of South Dakota. Now, how many states can you support anyone who has questions or they want to look more into doing a reverse mortgage? What states can you help?
I can lend in all 50 states. University Bank is a federally chartered bank, so we can lend in all 50, which is great because I have clients all over the United States. And who knows, you might just see me come visit you when I'm running for a half marathon because I have done that. I've gone down to Tennessee and I've met some financial advisors and some clients that I've done loans for down there. So I kind of make it as part of my journey. If I'm going to get one in Alaska someday, I've done loans
Wow.
in Alaska before, but my goal is to get to Alaska to run a half marathon, and then I'm going to plan it in to see one of my clients that I help here too. So kind of tie them in together, fun and workout at the same time.
I mean, you've got the perfect combination for life: fitness and finance. Fitness and finance. Those are two of the mainstays that, we definitely need to be focused on. All right, Jake, you've got a whole minute to tell us whatever it is you want to tell us. So give us some words of wisdom, whether it's from running or whether it's from reverse mortgage. Let us know something.
Thank you. So for me, my running, I tell people I'm a slow runner, but I put one foot in front of the other each and every day. So when I'm running, I may get to my mile. It might take me longer one day than another. It doesn't matter. In life, if we keep moving forward, we're going to have our challenges, we're going to trip, but let's get up. So when you mentioned like suicide awareness for September, we're going to have our tough days, but let's not let the tough days win. And I say that for fitness, for life, and for my seniors, I tell them the same thing. Don't let the tough day get you. Reach out. Let's make a difference. We can help somebody else. And that's my belief is if we truly make a difference each day, we're going to be better off in this world as a whole.
That's it. Do not let the tough days get you. Thank you for addressing suicide awareness. Thank you for educating us even more on reverse mortgages and what we can do. Thank you for just going from state to state, running that half marathon, and holding up that good United States American flag. Uh, I'll see you in a couple of months and we'll be talking about a different area of reverse mortgage. Thank you so much. And as always, you guys, don't forget, we're dropping the cups today. Go get yours. As always, keep your heart strong and your coffee Shero. I will see you next week.